They never told you this in biology class, but your blood type isn't random. It's not just science. It's not just genetics passed down from your parents like eye color or height. No, what flows through your veins right now is an encoded signature, a cosmic fingerprint that predates your birth and will outlast your body. The medical establishment will tell you blood type only matters for transfusions and pregnancy compatibility, but they're only seeing the surface. What they won't tell you is that your blood type carries frequencies, patterns, and information that connect you to something far older than modern civilization. And tonight, you're about to discover exactly what that means. Here's something that should make you pause. There are only a handful of blood types across billions of people on this planet. And yet each type clusters around specific personality traits, health patterns, and even life trajectories that science can observe but cannot fully explain. Type O individuals statistically handle stress differently than Type A. Type B shows different immune responses than Type AB. These aren't coincidences, these are markers. Your blood type is the biological expression of an ancient archetype, a role you were designed to play in the human story. And the reason most people never learn this is because understanding your true nature makes you harder to control. Now, before we go deeper, I need you to do something. If this message is already resonating, if something in your gut is telling you to keep listening, go ahead and like this video and subscribe, because what you're about to hear has been deliberately kept out of mainstream conversation. The algorithm tries to bury content like this, and the only way more people discover their cosmic heritage is if you engage right now. Consider it your first act of reclaiming what was hidden from you. And if you're ready to find out what your blood type reveals about who you really are, drop a comment with your blood type right now. Let's see how many Type O's, Type A's, Type B's, and Type AB's are watching. Your blood type isn't a label, it's your lineage. Think about this for a moment. Every ancient culture had a classification system for people. The Greeks had their four humors, the Egyptians had their cosmic alignments, indigenous tribes had their animal totems. But the one classification system that survived into the modern age, the one that even the most skeptical scientist must acknowledge, is blood type. Why? Because it's not mystical theory, it's biological fact. But what they refuse to connect is that biological fact has always carried metaphysical weight. Your blood type determines which foods strengthen or weaken you, which environments you thrive in, how your body responds to stress, even how your mind processes the world. That's not random, that's design. The first thing you need to understand is that your blood type isn't just about antigens and antibodies, it's about resonance. Each blood type vibrates at a different frequency, attracts different challenges, and unlocks different potentials. Think of your blood as a tuning fork. When you encounter people, places, and experiences that match your frequency, life flows. When you're forced into environments that clash with your blood type's natural resonance, everything feels like friction. That exhaustion you feel in certain jobs, around certain people, in certain cities, that's not weakness. That's frequency mismatch. And once you understand your blood type archetype, you'll finally know why some paths felt like home, while others felt like slow suffocation. Now let's break this down. We're going to go through each blood type, one by one, and reveal the cosmic heritage encoded in your vein. And I'm warning you right now, some of this will hit so close to home that you'll wonder if I've been watching your life. That's not magic, that's recognition. This is the conversation your biology has been trying to have with you your entire life, and tonight you're finally going to listen. So stay with me, because by the end of this you'll understand not just what your blood type is, but who you were always meant to become. Let's begin with the oldest, the most primal, the original human frequency. If you're Type O, you are walking ancient code. You carry the oldest blood type on the planet, the one every other type evolved from. That's not just trivia, that's your identity. You are the root, the foundation, the primal template. While other blood types developed adaptations to handle agriculture, urbanization, and social complexity, you retained the original warrior frequency. Your blood type existed when survival meant hunting, tracking, and reading the land. And even though you live in the modern world, that frequency still pulses through you every single day. Type O's don't just survive. You dominate when the pressure is on. You were built for crisis, for chaos, for the moments when everyone else freezes. That's why you feel most alive when stakes are high, when the path is unclear, when others are panicking. Your blood type thrives under stress, because stress was your ancestors' daily reality. But here's the trap the modern world set for you. They put you in cubicles, they told you to sit still, follow rules and wait for permission. They tried to domesticate the wolf. And that's why so many Type O's walk around feeling caged, frustrated, like there's a fire inside with nowhere to burn. You're not broken, you're just misplaced. Type O individuals are natural leaders, but not the corporate kind. You don't lead through titles or hierarchy, you lead through presence, through action, through the kind of confidence that doesn't need to announce itself. People feel safer around you in emergencies because your blood type doesn't panic. It calculates, it moves, it protects. That's your cosmic role. You are the guardian, the protector, the one who steps forward when everyone else steps back. But if you're stuck in environments that don't honor that frequency, you'll turn that intensity inward and it'll eat you alive. Here's what the research won't tell you, but the patterns scream. Type O's are overrepresented among extreme athletes, military operators, emergency responders, and anyone who thrives in high-stakes environments. Why? Because your blood type is designed for adrenaline. Your immune system is aggressive. Your gut is built for meat, for fat, for dense nutrition that fuels intensity. When Type O's eat like other blood types, grains, processed foods, high carbs, you inflame, you gain weight, you lose clarity, because your biology is still operating on the assumption that you're hunting, moving, fighting. Your body doesn't understand a sedentary life, and when you force it into one, it rebels. But let's go deeper. Type O isn't just about physicality, it's about instinct. You read people faster than they read themselves. You sense danger before it arrives. You know when someone's lying without them saying a word. That's not paranoia. That's your blood type survival mechanism. You were designed to detect threats in environments where hesitation meant death. So when you get a bad feeling about someone and everyone else thinks you're overreacting, you're not. You're picking up frequencies they can't register. And the biggest mistake you'll ever make is ignoring those instincts to fit in. The shadow side of Type O is rage. Because when a warrior frequency gets trapped, it doesn't go quiet. It explodes. That temper you've been ashamed of, that intensity people call too much, that's not a flaw. That's compressed power with nowhere to go. The solution isn't suppression, it's direction. You need physical outlets, high-stakes projects, challenges that demand everything you have. Otherwise, that fire burns your own life down. Type O's who don't honor their archetype end up in addiction, in toxic relationships, in cycles of self-destruction, because they're trying to numb what should be expressed. So if you're Type O, stop apologizing for your intensity. Stop trying to shrink into spaces that were never built for you. Your cosmic heritage is the warrior, the protector, the original human frequency. You're not supposed to blend in. You're supposed to stand out, stand up, and remind the world what strength looks like when it's unapologetic. Your blood type is the foundation every other type evolved from. Act like it. If you're Type A, you are the builder. You emerged when humanity shifted from hunting to farming, from wandering to settling, from chaos to structure. Your blood type appeared approximately 20,000 years ago when humans stopped following the herds and started planting seeds. That transition required a completely different mindset, a different nervous system, a different way of being, and your blood carries that frequency. You were the architect, the planner, the one who turns vision into reality through discipline and precision. Type A's don't thrive in chaos. You thrive in systems. You need order, clarity, and predictability because your ancestors survived by creating those things. Farming demands patience. You plant in spring, you wait through summer, you harvest in fall. Miss a step and everyone starves. That's why Type A's are wired for planning, for preparation, for thinking 3 moves ahead. You're not indecisive. You're thorough. And in a world that glorifies speed over accuracy, your methodical nature gets misread as hesitation. But you're not slow. You're smart. You calculate risk better than anyone because your blood type understands consequences. Here's what sets you apart. Type A's have the highest cortisol response of any blood type. That means stress hits you harder, stays longer, and impacts your body more deeply. The modern world calls this anxiety, but it's not a disorder, it's a feature. Your blood type evolved to be hyper-aware of threats, because missing a disease in your crops or a predator near your settlement could wipe out your entire community. So you're designed to worry, to check, to prepare. The problem is, modern society throws 1,000 fake threats at you daily, and your blood type treats every deadline, every email, every conflict like survival depends on it. That's why Type A's burn out faster than others. You're running threat detection software designed for a slower, more predictable world. Your nervous system wasn't built for constant notifications, endless decisions, and information overload. And when you try to push through like you see others doing, your body revolts. You get sick more often. You develop digestive issues. You lose sleep, not because you're weak, but because your blood type demands rest, routine, and nervous system regulation in ways others don't. Ignoring that isn't discipline, it's self-destruction. But let's talk about your superpower. Type A's are masters of detail. You see what others miss. You catch errors before they become disasters. You plan contingencies for scenarios no one else considered. That's not overthinking, that's strategic brilliance. The world needs your precision. Every major project, every system that works, every institution that lasts was built by someone who thinks like you. The issue is that you're surrounded by people who don't value what you do until it's missing, and then they panic and wonder why everything's falling apart. Type A individuals are overrepresented in fields requiring accuracy: accounting, medicine, engineering, law. Why? Because your blood type can't tolerate sloppiness. You don't cut corners, you don't approximate, you perfect. And yes, that makes you hard on yourself. Yes, that makes you replay conversations at 3 a.m. wondering if you said the right thing. But that same quality is why people trust you, why your work lasts, why, when you commit to something, it gets done right. The shadow side of Type A is paralysis. Because when you see every possible outcome, every risk, every way something could fail, decision-making becomes torture. You don't act because you're waiting for certainty, and certainty never comes. That's your test, learning to move with incomplete information. Learning that good enough is sometimes better than perfect. Learning that analysis without action is just fear in disguise. Your blood type's gift is foresight. Your curse is overthinking. The balance is trusting your preparation enough to leap. So if you're Type A, stop apologizing for needing structure. Stop feeling guilty for not being spontaneous. Your cosmic heritage is the architect. You're not supposed to wing it. You're supposed to build systems so strong that others can thrive within them. The world runs on the backs of people like you. Own that. If you're Type B, you are the disruptor. You emerged around 10,000 years ago among nomadic tribes in the Himalayan highlands, people who didn't settle, didn't farm, didn't follow anyone else's rules. Your ancestors thrived by adapting, by moving, by finding opportunity where others saw only obstacles. That's your frequency. You are the innovator, the explorer, the one who refuses to be boxed in. While Type A's built walls, you crossed them. While Type O's defended territory, you claimed new ones. You are the bridge between stability and chaos, and that's why you've never fully fit into either. Type B's confuse people. You don't follow the script. You change your mind without apology. You pivot when something stops working, instead of forcing it. Others call this flaky, unreliable, or inconsistent. But what they don't understand is that your blood type evolved to be flexible. Nomadic life demanded adaptability. You couldn't get attached to one place, one method, one identity. Survival meant reading the environment and shifting accordingly. That's still in you. You're not wishy-washy. You're responsive. And in a rigid world, responsiveness looks like rebellion. Here's the truth about type Bs that no one talks about. You have the strongest immune system of any blood type. Statistically, you resist infections better, bounce back faster, and handle environmental changes with less disruption. Why? Because your ancestors encountered more diversity than anyone else. Traveling exposed them to different climates, different foods, different microbes. Your blood type built defenses for variety. That's why type Bs can eat a wider range of foods, adapt to different time zones faster, and handle irregular schedules better than others. Your biology expects change, but modern society punishes change. It rewards consistency, routine, long-term commitment to singular paths. That's type A thinking imposed on a type B world, and it's suffocating you. You're told to pick one career, one city, one identity, and stick with it. But your blood type doesn't work that way. You're designed to explore, to sample, to synthesize ideas from multiple domains. That's not lack of focus. That's cross-pollination. The innovations that change the world don't come from specialists. They come from people who see connections others miss because they've walked paths others avoided. Type Bs are overrepresented among entrepreneurs, artists, travelers, and anyone building something unconventional. You don't fit in corporate structures because those structures were built by and for type A. You don't thrive under micromanagement because your blood type needs autonomy. The second someone tells you how to do something, your instinct is to find a different way. Not out of defiance, but because your frequency operates on possibility, not protocol. You see 10 solutions where others see one, and being forced to choose the approved method feels like creative death. The shadow side of type B is scattered energy. Because you see so many possibilities, you struggle to commit. You start projects with enthusiasm and abandon them when the next interesting thing appears. You have a graveyard of half-finished ideas because completion feels like closing a door, and you hate closed doors. Your test is learning to channel your adaptability into sustained focus. Not by forcing yourself into rigid structures, but by finding projects flexible enough to evolve with you. Here's the key. Type Bs don't need more discipline. You need better alignment. When you're working on something that genuinely excites you, something that lets you pivot and play, you have endless energy. The problem is, you've been guilt-tripped into pursuing things that bore you because they're practical or stable. And then you wonder why you can't focus. It's not ADD. It's your blood type screaming that you're off course. Your cosmic role isn't to fit into existing systems, it's to build new ones. So if you're type B, stop apologizing for changing direction. Stop forcing yourself into boxes designed for other frequencies. Your cosmic heritage is the nomad, the innovator, the bridge between worlds. You're not supposed to stay still. You're supposed to explore, connect, and create paths no one else imagined. If you're type AB, you are the rarest frequency on the planet. Only about 4% of the global population carries your blood type, and that rarity isn't coincidence. You are the most recent evolutionary development, the fusion of type A and type B, the walking synthesis of opposites. You carry both the structure-loving precision of the farmer and the boundary-breaking adaptability of the nomad. That makes you the most complex, the most misunderstood, and the most powerful when you step into your truth. Type ABs don't fit into categories, and that's been your struggle from the beginning. You're too structured for the free spirits and too unconventional for the rule followers. You crave stability but need flexibility. You value planning but embrace spontaneity. You're the living contradiction, and instead of celebrating that, the world tried to force you to pick a side. But your cosmic heritage isn't about choosing. It's about integrating. You are the alchemist, the one who takes opposing forces and turns them into something new. Here's what science observes, but can't fully explain. Type A's have the most adaptable immune system, but also the most sensitive. You can handle variety, but you're vulnerable to imbalance. Your blood type gives you access to both type A and type B traits, but that also means you inherit both their weaknesses. You can overthink like a type A and scatter like a type B. You can be as intense as a type O in one moment and as withdrawn as a type A in the next. People find this confusing, but it's not inconsistency, it's complexity. The reason type AB emerged later than every other blood type is because it required the mixing of populations that were previously separate. Type A farmers and type B nomads didn't interact much until trade routes, migration, and cultural exchange brought them together. Your blood type is the biological record of that convergence. You are the product of connection, of worlds colliding, of boundaries dissolving. That's why you're drawn to bridge building, to synthesizing ideas, to finding common ground where others see only division. Type ABs are overrepresented in fields requiring both logic and creativity, design, strategy, psychology, philosophy. You don't fit neatly into left brain or right brain categories because you use both simultaneously. You can analyze systems like a type A and then intuitively leap to solutions like a type B. That cognitive flexibility is your gift, but it's also exhausting. Your mind never stops, you're constantly toggling between modes, and that mental load burns you out faster than others realize. The shadow side of type AB is fragmentation. Because you carry multiple frequencies, you can lose yourself trying to be everything to everyone. You're the chameleon, shifting to match whatever environment you're in. And sometimes you forget what your baseline even is. You absorb other people's energy, their emotions, their expectations, and before you know it, you're living a life that doesn't feel like yours. Your test is integration, learning to honor both sides of your nature without letting either dominate. Here's the truth that will set you free. You don't have to choose. You don't have to be consistent in the way others define it. Your cosmic role is synthesis, taking opposing forces and creating something entirely new. The world doesn't need another specialist. It needs people who can see multiple perspectives, hold paradox, and find solutions that honor complexity instead of oversimplifying it. That's you, but only if you stop apologizing for being multifaceted. So if you're type AB, stop trying to fit into singular identities. Stop letting others box you in because they can't handle your range. Your cosmic heritage is the alchemist. You're not supposed to be one thing. You're supposed to be the bridge, the synthesis, the living proof that opposites can coexist and create something more powerful than either alone. Your blood type isn't a medical footnote. It's your cosmic signature, the biological expression of an ancient role you were born to fulfill. Type O, you're the warrior. Type A, you're the architect. Type B, you're the nomad. Type AB, you're the alchemist. Each frequency carries a gift and a test, a superpower and a shadow. The modern world tried to erase these differences, to treat everyone like interchangeable parts. But your blood knows better. It's been whispering your truth your entire life. Now that you know your archetype, the question is, what will you do with it? Will you keep forcing yourself into roles that don't fit, or will you finally honor the frequency you were born to carry? Drop your blood type in the comments and let me know if this resonated. And if this message shifted something in you, share it with someone who needs to remember who they really are. Your blood type is your lineage, your cosmic heritage, your unbreakable code. It's time to live like it.